We have a contractor that we recently picked up, and we're getting in there more as a fractional CFO to get them organized, get the structure set up, get the systems and procedures in place. And then we may back off and let them handle a lot of the duties that we would be doing initially.
You're listening to the best doggone money advice with John Neal and Tucker, the rescue dog.
All right, John, welcome back to the podcast. And I wanted to talk today about some of the signs that businesses, they show when they're outgrowing their current financial management and their setup, and then how you come in as a fractional CFO and help turn things around.
I think one of the things is that they're growing in revenue size. They've outgrown what they're doing. With a CFO or a fractional CFO, that person or that position has more oversight than just doing the daily transactions, paying bills, recording invoices, reconciling bank accounts.
When a business is in a position to say, look, I think I'm dealing with some bigger numbers here, or I have more revenue, let's take a look at adding a CFO, whether it's you or a full-time person, or when does that business actually take that leap?
I don't know that there's a certain revenue level that jumps up and says, hey, now I'm doing $5 million, I need a CFO, or I'm doing $2.5 million, I need a CFO. I think a lot of it has to do with the industry that you're in. I have restaurants that do $5 million in sales. They don't need a CFO because they're basically transactional, and they have a point of sale system. Yes, we do come in as their outside CPA and meet with them and go through things, but compare that with a manufacturer who has inventory control issues and financing issues and service vehicle issues. They may be at $1 million and would benefit from a CFO.
Right. So it's more the business vertical more so than the revenue is what you're telling me, right?
Correct.
And so, like, say for example, you brought up a manufacturer. So maybe a larger, like, e-commerce store, they might have a lot of inventory. They might have financing as well. And so when you have complexities, that's where the CFO comes in more so than a CPA?
Correct. The CPA is typically an outside person, although a CPA can also be a CFO. And the CFO has more, I call it hands-on activity within the company on a regular basis, versus a CPA may just come in and do the tax return at the end of the year.
So obviously you do both services. You conduct yourself as a fractional CFO for some businesses, but you're also a CPA for many businesses. And so when somebody comes to you about their financials, they might not necessarily come to you looking for a fractional CFO, but they end up having fractional CFO services from you simply because of their need. And so, when they're coming to you as their CPA, when do you recommend, or how do you break the news to them? Say, hey, you need a little bit more than a CPA.
One thing that we do when we take on a new business client is look at their systems and procedures. Are they using an accounting system, if you will, like QuickBooks or Sage or SAP? Do they have issues in recording things timely and correctly? And even though they're small, we have a contractor that we recently picked up that will maybe do $1 million, and we're getting in there more as a fractional CFO to get them organized, get the structure set up, get the systems and procedures in place, and then we may back off and let them handle a lot of the duties that we would be doing initially.
Okay. So have you ever come across a situation where maybe you work with somebody as their fractional CFO for like a half a year, right? Just to get them going, because they're not necessarily at a point where they need to have somebody there, every week or every month, but it's something that you needed to say, listen, I need to offer this service here to you to get you the foundation, your financial foundation, moving and make sure that we're going in the right area. Maybe we do it for a 5 or 6 month period. Then we pull off the fractional CFO services. I'll continue to be your CPA, but then let's reevaluate in a year and see if maybe we need to do it for another 2 or 3 months, or maybe you're growing to a point where you do need to have somebody that's there more frequently, not as frequently as a full-time CFO, but certainly a fractional CFO.
True. We've come in on I'll call it a project basis and gotten things cleaned up and then backed off. But we've also done what you mentioned in your last comment. We have a contractor, a home remodeler, who we went in as their CFO, fractional CFO, for it was probably a year, getting systems and procedures in place. And while we were there, they grew so that they were on the, the Entrepreneur 5,000 fastest growing companies. And they ended up hiring a full-time CFO.
Oh, okay. So you filled the gap of, they needed a CFO that you filled in the gap. And then once they got into a certain area, obviously you can't be a full-time CFO for them because you have clients. So I guess maybe I do have one more follow-up question to this. And this is, to your business, specifically, like how much time can you spend with one particular client as a fractional CFO? I mean, when do they actually say, oh, I need a full-time CFO?
Yeah. I don't know that there's a specific time. I don't think we can devote 20 hours a week to one client to be their fractional CFO because that takes up quite a bit of time. I just think it's kind of a feeling on both sides where, hey, John, I really need somebody here more than you can offer, and we go, hey, Fred, we can't put in all the time that you're looking for, so I think we need to go hire somebody. And that's something that we've done with a number of clients is have screened candidates for a CFO position.
So you kind of fill in the gap between. Again, you're like, well, I'll do this for now, and then let's get somebody as this need goes in, because the scope of what they're asking you to do starts to go up and up, and you're starting to realize, wow, I'm spending more time in my client's business than I am with everything we have here. And then it's just a mutual agreement that you have between you guys just know through feeling and working together.
Right.